Okay, hi everyone, I'm Edeline and welcome to Sembang Tak Konsol. Sorry. Everyone, I'm Edeline and welcome to the Sembang Tak Kosong podcast by 12080. Today we have Dr. Lavanya with us. Dr. Lavanya is a psychologist specializing in PTSD under forensic psychology. She has spent 18 years in corporate HR MNC, as well as 14 years dedicated part-time psychology practice. And now Dr. Lavanya is practicing full-time on her passion of psychology. So Dr. Lavanya, with her extensive experience, Dr. Lavanya has intervened with over 8,000 unaliving cases. So Dr. Lavanya has saved over 8,000 people's lives who have attempted to unalive. So we have with her today with us to talk about this topic and about mental health and how we can help the people around us as well as ourselves. So thank you, Dr. Lavanya, Thank you, Dr. Lavanya, for making your time for us today and for being with us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
So let's just continue with our conversation. So you're mentioning about life is short and how they put that short in life is short.
Yes.
Yeah. So
you're right. So that's the reason I normally feel very compelled to assist. However, there are a lot of development that we need in terms of mental health as well.
Yeah. In Malaysia.
In Malaysia, of course, especially in terms of resources, expertise. Like when you ask someone, okay, who is the right professional for you to go and meet when you have these kind of mental health issues, still the answers are very vague. But the correct answer is actually PPC.
Right. What is PPC, doctor?
It is psychologists, psychiatrists, and counselors.
Counselor. Okay.
They are the only people that you should meet when you have mental health issues, emotional problems. They are the only one. It's like this: you won't go to a gynae if you have diabetic problem, isn't it?
Correct. Right.
So you must go to the correct specialization in order for you to be able to get the best help needed. The problem here, they don't. And also the kind of stigma that arises, they don't want to inform anybody because among family members, they have tendencies to shut you off,
Yeah. Correct.
saying that it's not true, you are okay, you're fine. Among companies in institutionalized discrimination, they may be afraid of losing the job, not getting any promotion or any advancement in career, or even being cold storaged. So that is the reason why people just don't want to say anything. And even among community, among friends, like this unaliving subject as well, people are talking about it. But you know what's the problem? This is what I tell my audiences or my participants when I give talk. Be mindful. What is mindful?
Yeah.
Using all your senses that God has given you. So you have two eyes for you to observe, look, see properly what's exactly happening. The power of observation has been very much downplayed and was not given enough importance to understand that observation is the key to smell out or to weed out any form of issues. Be it medically, be it mentally, be it in relationship, observation. So you have two nostrils for you to breathe more. A lot of our problems can be settled with proper breathing techniques.
I see.
Yes.
Okay.
Deep breaths are very, very helpful. Breathing techniques, the right ones, like 4-7-8, 4 seconds of breathing in, 7 seconds of holding the breath, and 8 seconds of letting out the breath.
Okay.
Just that, when you do it like 15 times a day, which is very small amount of time, can help you to bring down your stress in a very, speedy way.
Okay.
Yes. I've done this experiment before with a participant of mine in a company where it was all C-series. They were using the Fitbit watch. So then I asked them to record their stress level, did that cycle with them once, and then we found out that the stress level have gone down.
So it's 478.
exponentially. Yeah, 478.
478.
You can find those videos in YouTube. Just Google them. Everything is at your fingertips. It's just that you need to do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have your 2 years
Yeah.
to listen more. Listen, don't hear. Listen to understand, not listen to reply. We are not on a constant debate. Debate happen in school. You like to debate, go and join Toastmaster, but don't use debate as a form of, you want to be always right. Choose what you want. You want to be right or you want to save the relationship. It should be the latter, not the former.
Correct.
And then, the last but not least, you have your mouth. You have only one mouth. But people talk for 2 to 3 mouths and quit listening.
Yeah.
So, when we talk less and we listen more, we are able to absorb further more of what people are trying to say, both hidden and outwardly.
But doctor, my question is, right, okay, like you said, use your ears to listen.
Yes.
The thing is, in usual cases, how would it be? Like, would people really go, I need help? Or what would people say usually, when, what should the signs be for people to look out for?
Well, in Asian countries, we have our so-called friend. I have a friend who have this issue.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah, or someone I know.
Yeah.
So, yes, they don't have to say that they need help.
Yeah.
Sometimes just sitting with them, that itself the help that they need.
Okay.
People don't need solution. They know the solution. They need cheerleaders
Okay.
and validators. So when they are saying that they feel whatever ABC, what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to validate it. I understand where you're coming at. If put yourself in their shoes, try to understand what are they trying to say, what are they trying to convey, and then cheer them up. As in, not saying the normal motivation stuff like, oh, you can do it, that all that. No. I'm here for you if you want to talk further. We can discuss if you want to discuss anything.
Okay.
Put it out there that there is a ready-made ears for them.
Okay.
That's the biggest help that you can do.
All right. And doctor, the thing is, right, like many people, from what I imagine now, okay, based on experience, like, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay, I'm fine. I'm okay. Then what happens next? When you, for example, if you kind of sense that something is not right, but somebody gives you that kind of reply, so then what happens next? What should I do next, actually? Yeah, sorry. So the question was, what? So somebody says, I ask, how are you? Okay, or are you feeling all right? And then the person goes, yeah, I'm okay. But
Of course.
okay,
I mean, what can you expect when these people, generally, we are facing so much of discrimination, left, right, down, center, and then whatever we are going to say can be used against us or repeated in some twisted manner. They may even get it back in a forwarded message. So who's going to actually say, yeah, I'm having this issue? So these are the times where you need to kind of forge a psychological safety between them. So how do you forge a psychological safety? That is by using emotional intelligence. So then put yourself in their shoes. Ask yourself, would you be able to open up just like that when someone asks you?
No, I doubt it.
So what would make them want to open up? Maybe you can share something about yourself. Share a food with them, share a meal with them. Human psychology, when you share a meal, you only share a meal with someone that you know.
True.
And you're comfortable with.
Very true.
It's not sharing a table, but sharing a meal. So when you share a meal with them, that would open up space for you to talk something personal.
Yeah.
So that's where you get them to open up.
Okay. So it's more than just asking questions, because I see a lot online, like, okay, ask these questions, this is what you ask and stuff like that, but I feel like if you were to do that, you get that kind of answers. And I'm like, I'm okay, it's fine, and it kind of stops there.
You can ask those questions if they come and approach you.
Yeah, okay. So it doesn't apply to, it's not like a universal thing to apply to everybody.
No.
Okay.
Even me, I know close to 23 therapies. However, when I meet a person, I don't utilize just one therapy. I use a few therapies in order for them to open up, for them to engage.
I see.
Depending also on the age, depending on their exposure, depending on whether they are married, single, working, student, all these comes into the play as well. So you need to know about the person's background before you try to assist them.
Yeah, okay. That's very true,
That's
doctor.
why building rapport is very important.
That connection, right? Okay, so it's always important to build that connection first before. But like, for example, cases where like parents who suddenly find their child unalive at home. Yeah, I know. I mean that you wouldn't, I don't know about connection there, but how about those kind of cases, you know?
Funny you should ask me this because I just had in July this year, just few months back or 1.5 months back, my mother passed away. So during that time, I had a client of mine who tried to reach out to me, and I wasn't able to connect with that person because I myself was going through a turbulence. So it's important for me to be stable in order for me to help others, right? So due to that, I wasn't able to connect with that particular person. So I left it at that. When I came back, this particular person actually was no longer alive. So I was taken aback because this person was actually below 20
I see.
and staying with the family, full family house, and they found this person unalive in his bedroom.
I see. Wow.
Yeah, and then the parents, the whole family was just fell apart. You see, the problem here is for those who are thinking of unaliving, we tend to think that these are short-term solution. These would reset your life. I'm so done with it. I am tired. I understand all that. However, you are leaving huge destruction in the wake of your absence.
Correct.
I mean, no one teaches you how to be a good parent. No one teaches you on your roles. You know, even in a company also, if you get a good onboarding, you are so lucky.
Yeah.
You know, even in a company, no one teaches you. So, because of all this matter, everyone has their own journey being who they are. So a lot of parents don't show their love efficiently to the children. The intention is awesome, yes, very good intention, but it stays there. They don't convey their intention or their gratitude for the existence of the child, or vice versa.
Yeah.
So due to that, both parties think that they don't love each other.
Okay.
There is no support, there's no that, there's no this, because they take it with the face value.
I see.
You're not, because not everybody recognize tough love,
Correct.
but Asian moms are tough love.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, all of us are having some form of trauma in one way or another due to our upbringing. You know, I remember during my time, we would actually compare notes of what your parents hit you with.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so these are all can be trauma for a person.
Correct.
So when they grow up, they feel that, you know, maybe their parents don't love them, they are a disappointment for the parents, and all, they have their own reasons which we can't judge, and due to that they progress on unaliving. But you know what is the thing is, if you observe, you'll be able to catch it. You'll be able to catch it.
But like as parents, right, doctor, I mean, like you said, you know, the whole Asian thing of having that wall there, you know, to say I love you is so difficult, you know, for some parents, especially I would think the older generation, you know. So how can they, is there any way to break that by any chance, like for the parents to be, you know, to have that change in that family and stuff like that? How can one get started on that? Now knowing like what you mentioned, there needs to be that connection, there needs to be that affection. We after all are humans, right, doctor?
True.
So how can parents start to be more aware? I mean, it doesn't matter if you are 60, 70, or 50 or 40 years old. I mean, if, say, you're watching this, a parent is watching this, go like, okay, I need to start making that connection. What can they do to get started on that? It's never too late, right,
It's
doctor?
never. I always feel that it's never too late while you're still alive,
Yeah.
regardless of age. So there are two types of parents at the moment. One is, this is how my father and mother raised me.
Yeah.
I turned out well, so why not I copy paste. There's another type of parents. Oh no, my parents hit the daylights out of me, where I'll be counting stars most of the time, so I'm not going to do the same thing to my children. But the problem here is, you must understand, the softer parenting, which was the latter, it sounds good, it is nice, okay? They also incorporate a lot of westernized parenting as well.
Correct.
But you must understand, westernized parenting, at the age after their SATs, after their high school, they go out to work and study.
Correct.
So they are made into their own personality, into their own adult. You know, you have no choice. Whereas Asian children are not like that. Where Asian children,
You stay home as long as we're not married.
yeah. As long as you are not married, you are home. And anyways, even if you are married, if there is a place for you and your wife to stay, why not?
Yeah, correct.
You know, so then what happens is, this this latter type of parenting, children grows up to be very entitled and self-righteous, very entitled, very spoiled, in a terms that what's in it for me.
Right. Okay, so how do we strike that
So
balance?
that is the reason
Yeah.
you need to understand what is the real epitome of parenting. The real epitome of parenting is, this may sound controversial, but you need to raise your child in such way the child doesn't need you anymore.
Okay.
Then you have done your job well.
So independence.
Independence, self-sufficient, self-reliant, resourceful, all that.
So the team has to be independence, even emotionally,
Emotionally, physically, mentally, and resilient.
resilient.
This is very, very important. You know, but
Okay.
where do you see that?
Yeah.
Even
yeah,
if the
right.
child, you know, a lot of mothers marry off or look for a babysitter in the form of daughter-in-laws.
Yeah.
So what kind of efficiency are we looking at? As long as we have this kind of dysfunction going on in the house, this will always be existing. So where do we stop it? How do we stop it?
Yeah.
We stop it by us alone starting the trend of connectivity.
Okay.
When my father passed away when I was 11 years old, my mother was a very, very old school person. She doesn't hug unnecessarily. She don't believe in cuddling and all this stuff.
Okay.
So she was very much into tough love. So, but however, I'm not that sort of a person. I'm a very loving, touchy person. So I forced my mother to change into a loving person by me just hugging her.
Okay. So you took the initiative.
I took the initiative. It's like that. It can be anyone, but you need to be the catalyst.
I see.
Yes,
Okay.
do it. Just hug her, give her the love, we give her the kisses, you know, be supportive of her. And yeah, by the time my mom passed on, she was named as a huggy monster, kissy monster, because whoever comes, she'll hug and kiss, she will sayang them. Why? How did that change? It all changed by us giving her small, small hugs every time.
I see.
So it's never too late.
Okay, and it's not about waiting for the person to change. It's for you to make that change.
Go and grab it.
I see. All right. Okay, so because we're always like, oh, it's no, my dad or my mom is the one that was cold, so I need to teach my dad or mom to be, you know, more loving or more affectionate. But it's not about them. It's about you.
Demonstrate it.
Yeah.
If you feel that you need to teach it, how? Demonstrate it. Show the love.
Okay.
Again, there is a balance that you need to strike.
Yeah.
So, you try and try. If they are not yielding, have a conversation with them after a few tries, and then forgive yourself for putting too much of expectation. Because at the end of the day, your mental health is important.
Correct.
So, yes, you do whatever you can. If you can't, it's okay. No one failed. It's everyone's journey,
Yeah, true. True.
but you need to forgive yourself lah.
True. Very true.
That's all.
Very
That
true.
is the balance that you strike.
Okay, so we should all be the ones to start.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and strike that balance.
Correct,
Why
correct.
not? I mean, at the end of the day, use your senses, right, doctor?
True.
Yeah, see if it's okay. I mean, of course,
I
maybe...
mean, who doesn't want love?
Correct, exactly. We're all humans at the end of the day.
As long as you are a living being, you need love, including
Right.
plants.
Very true.
Yeah, plants also needs
Animals.
love. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are human. All the more we need love. So it's okay if that other person you feel that they are devoid of love. Never mind. You have a lot. Give. That's it.
But doctor, I always say you need to fill your cup first.
Yes. Self-love, self-care is extremely important. I advocate that to the max.
Okay, and doctor, how there's so many forms of self-love and self-care. But I feel like sometimes I read it online as well. Some people kind of mix it up with, like, for example, indulgence. So, like, again, you said strike the balance. So how do we strike the balance? Where do we know? Because, like, for example, you don't want it to turn into an addiction. So where do we, find the balance?
Okay. First of all, you need to define what is self-care, what is self-love. You
Okay.
need to define that. Without a proper definition, yes, one can go astray with their indulgences.
All right.
Okay. Self-care is even taking a early morning shower, brushing your teeth efficiently. Self-care can also making the choice between a sugary drink and water.
Very true.
Self-care is also choosing the stairs instead of the lift or elevator.
Yeah.
So these are the small minutest details that you need to look at to understand what is self-love. So self-love is prioritizing the best version of yourself, both mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So when I say spiritual, doesn't necessarily mean religion. No, it is spiritualism. So meaning, are you letting your brain to breathe without any thoughts? Are you putting yourself in an environment where you can recharge your ions? Are you allowing yourself opportunity to make yourself healthier? Are you giving yourself opportunity to make right choices in choosing things for yourself?
Yeah.
So all these, they may not be easy, but they are what it is for you to have a best version of yourself.
I see. So we first need to define what it is.
So a lot of people feel that, shopping in Shein or Temu
Yeah.
or Shopee, okay,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
TikTok,
Yeah.
that is self-love. I'm having retail therapy. No, that is not self-love. That is you lacking of dopamine, a feel-good hormone that is making you addictive to shopping.
Right.
So
Okay.
instead of that, self-love could be going for a good hike.
to
and
increase your
reward-
dopamine levels.
Yes.
Okay.
Instead of getting something and increasing it, go for a hike.
Correct.
Instead of eating cheesy food for your comfort to make you feel better, have a good drink and have a nap.
I see.
Your mood regulator is sleep. Go and take a nap. You're too tired, you're too angry, you're whatever emotional, you're drained, go and take a nap.
Okay, doctor, about sleep, right? Okay, just a quick one here. So people go like, I'm so stressed up, I cannot sleep, I cannot fall asleep. Okay, how about that? Like then you say
That's
go.
because you are overthinking.
Yeah. Okay.
The only
okay.
reason why you're not sleepy is because your mind is very busy. You see, there's two ways you're not sleepy. One is your mind is very noisy. Another thing is your body has lack of exercise.
Okay.
It's too pumped up.
Yeah.
So that's the reason you may not be sleepy.
I see. So you have too much of energy that you need to release.
Yes, especially
Sorry.
office workers.
Yeah,
They sit most of the time.
Mhm.
So where is your energy being spent?
It's all built up inside.
There's no such thing this using energy, no. You still need to physically move because human beings are made for movement.
I see.
You need to move in order for you to live a long and healthy life.
Yeah.
If you don't move, it is not healthy for you.
Wow, and here we are thinking, we need this, we need that, we need this to sleep and stuff like that. But actually, there's something called exercise.
Yes, exercise and journaling are two most effective tools to use for your mental health.
I see. see.
Journaling is
Wow.
important too, because to download all the noise
Okay.
into a paper so that you are aware of your thought patterns. Where is this going? Why is it so toxic? What's happening? Analyze that. You want to
Yeah.
think, can write them down, and then you think about it the next day. So you have something more fruitful for you to think,
And this-
instead of thinking of what ifs, should
Yeah.
have, could have, must haves.
Wow, I'm learning so much, Doctor. And this is all self-care.
Yes,
And all part of self-love at the end of the day.
True.
And because of that, you take care of yourself. That's how you can give to others as well.
yes, absolutely.
Wow, so that's the cycle that we want to create. Because that is what's needed, right, Doctor, in order to prevent all these unaliving cases at the end of the day.
True. Always remember this. Imagine that you are in an event, in a free food event, and you have a big pot of porridge that you are ladling out. So you need to keep making the porridge in order for you to have much to give out.
Yeah.
When you're running out of it, what are you going to do? If you're just going to pour water, never mind, it's okay, we will compromise, pour water and then give the porridge. It will be diluted, it wouldn't be tasteful.
Yeah, correct.
And last but not least, when you start scraping the bottom, you'll also feel frustrated, scared, angry,
Correct. Stressed
resentment.
up. Yeah. Okay. That's a very good analogy, Doctor.
Yeah.
Her mom felt like she needed to go into her room because she was too quiet. She opened the door and she was already,
Wow.
but it just happened. So she managed to bring her down, and so she got admitted to UH and stuff like that to get help for 1 week, and now she's better. So like, this topic really hits close to me because I mean we're a family, we're very close to that family and stuff like that, and to think that you know somebody and to not realize, I mean we don't really keep in touch that like not every day and stuff like that, but we see each other often enough, and to not see any cues is one thing, you know, Doctor. And then that's why I'm wondering, like, I asked you about cues and stuff like that as well. Because
you will see it.
yeah, that's the thing, you know, because we were, like, for us, maybe we were not aware, you know, at that time we were not using our, like, you know, we were not aware enough because at the end of the day, we found out that it was work-related. Like, she couldn't meet her deadline. She just joined work at an agency and she couldn't meet her deadlines. She didn't know what to do. So her solution was, I'm going to stop in it. I didn't know what to do some more because she had COVID the week before. So it was building up. Her boss was like, you know, I need it. She didn't know what to do. And just that, and to think that it's so fragile, like you said, they put short in life is short. Just like that.
You're right.
Yeah, so that's why to me it's like, this whole topic of unaliving it hits really close in that sense. To have met, her name is Sophia, the one that tried to commit twice, and my cousin. So I was like, wow. Yeah, so that's why even more like I feel like we should talk about it because like, and the whole thing is now that we know stuff, I mean we know she tried to commit and stuff like that, commit suicide and stuff like that, then we realize, wait, okay, I'm saying suicide because we don't put this in the film later, okay? Yeah, but what happens? So the question is now that, like, for example, people who realize have unalived, but of course they were saved. It's the
So they
people around
attempted.
them. Correct. They attempted to be unalive. The people around them tend to behave a little differently. Like, you know, there were talks going around like, how do we talk to her? You know, things get very sensitive. We don't want to trigger it. That's the biggest worry. We don't want to trigger it again. So we try not to ask questions, you know, because everything becomes super sensitive in our point of view. You know, so then how do we tackle that? Because then the person will feel left out.
Exactly.
Right? So I feel like that makes the situation worse. Because the
You're
person
right.
is really trying to, get better already. The fact that the person attempted and was saved. And now everybody's like, oh, I don't want to talk about
They'll
it.
be
you know?
walking around eggshells around her.
Correct. So actually, what should we do? Say, for example, if we know of somebody like that, what should we
Don't treat
do?
them any differently.
Like before.
Yeah. Treat them
Okay.
like normal.
Okay.
Like, yes, this is an episode.
Yeah.
You did that because you must understand why did they do that.
Yeah.
99% of them do that because they feel misunderstood. They don't feel the support. They don't feel the love. They feel like this is it, this is the end.
Yeah.
So now great that we have saved them from that kind of situation. Next is we need to make them understand that, you know what, we are here for you, we love you a lot, there's a lot of support, there's lots of validation. You're not alone.
Yeah.
Maybe we were not mindful of you, now we are more mindful of you.
Yeah.
So you know what, we can handle this together. That's it.
So it's like we're a team
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
this is what families need to cultivate, a team. But you know what families cultivate?
Tell us, doctor.
They don't cultivate team, they cultivate dysfunctional loyalty. Blood is thicker than water. So no matter how toxic your brother, your sister, your ex is, whatever family members
Yeah.
are, you don't let them go because they are your family.
Right.
So then they sow and reap toxicity.
Toxic. Yeah.
You know, so that is not what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is, imagine yourself in a team building activity. I won't say anything else, team building. Because that's the only time where no matter how toxic your company is, at that moment they'll be super nice, super good.
Forced to.
So team building, remember team building. During team building, no matter how much you like or dislike your co-worker, your boss or whoever, you don't let them go. They are the team, your competitiveness kicks in, you want to win, and you guys do whatever it takes to win legally and professionally.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Have that same mindset when you are handling with your family and even in your team. That is the mindset. It's nothing personal. I mean, even in a family or in a company, politics are politics. As long as there's human being, there will always be a politic.
Yeah.
However, it's about how much you're taking it personally.
True, very true. And that strive for perfection, doctor. You know, the perfect family, all smiles, laughter, you know, stuff like that. I feel like it's really toxic as well. Because nobody has space to talk about problems, right? Because problems are just kind of brushed under the carpet at the end of the day, you know, swept underneath.
Yeah. Allah, it's okay, it's just your brother, it's just your sister, it's okay, forget about it. Forgive, move on. You know, you'll be forced to apologize even if you didn't do anything wrong, just because you're lower in the hierarchy.
Yeah.
You know, so this kind of mechanism works especially in Asian families.
Yeah.
However, it comes back to what is more important. You know, the most important thing is all your children choosing to spend the time with you despite their heavy schedule.
Correct.
Voluntarily.
Yeah.
Not us begging you to come back home for every function.
Yeah.
And not us asking you when you're going to make some time for me. Not us always like telling, hey, remember, your mother's still alive. You know, giving them reminders.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that. If you have to do all that, that means your child is not emotionally engaged with you. That's what it means. So when your child is not emotionally engaged, so what shall we do next?
Correct.
So the next step is support the child emotionally. The problem with Asian parents is they start supporting the child physically, financially, so that they don't feel discarded. But it is never who bought for you the car. It's about how did that driving that car made you feel.
Yeah, correct. Which is often left out.
Yes. You know,
Yeah.
like a lot of children, they remember their favorite meal cooked by their mother.
Yeah.
Right? They don't remember the first dress or the first shoe that the parents bought for
Very
them.
true. That's very true.
But that's what we think as an adult, that, oh, these are the things that matters. So we give them materially, especially fathers, the unsung heroes. They are like unsung heroes. They are not efficient in showing the love. So they show their love through being an ATM.
Yeah.
Right? Transactional. Their relationship becomes transactional. But you know, even in unaliving, a lot of men goes unalive due to this, because of misunderstanding, not being understood, not being accepted in the society.
I see.
You know, because just like females have their benchmarks, you know, if you're married, you need to have children, you need to have this, that, all that. Male also have their benchmark. And when they don't achieve that, they become emasculated.
Right. Okay.
So once they become emasculated, there goes their mental health.
I see.
You know?
And like for men to seek help is
It's very difficult. It's very, very challenging. Because in Asian culture, we tell you what, boys don't cry, man
Correct.
up, chin up.
correct.
You know, what is this? Be a man.
Yeah.
You know, so there's lots of taunting in terms of encouragement. There's lots of taunting that prevents a man from getting assistance.
I see.
No one tells them it's okay to cry. It's all right to cry. It's okay to scream out of frustration.
Correct.
You know,
Correct.
which
yeah.
that would help them a lot.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I mean, I'm a mom of 2 boys, right? So, I mean, I try to this whole like, it's okay, you can cry, it's okay. And no doubt, I mean, some people see it as weak, you know, when I tell them that, like, what, cry? No, you cannot cry. Other people here, you know, boys shouldn't cry, boys stop crying already, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, so I mean, we still get all of that. And I have to just remind them, yeah, it's okay, you can cry, you know, so there's still this whole divide that's clearly happening. of
Actually,
course.
crying regulates your emotion. So it's very healthy to cry. The problem is because we stop the men from crying, they don't get to regulate their emotion. So then they become emotionally unavailable. And you know, so not many men knows how to have how do I say, platonic cuddling, platonic demonstration of love.
Okay,
Not many
yeah.
men are aware of that.
Yeah.
Most men, if you touch them, it becomes non-platonic.
Ah.
Because why? Because since young, you did not encourage him to be more in touch of his emotion.
Correct.
Plus, also now they also have the fear of LGBTQ.
Correct.
Oh, if my son shows too much of emotion, he'll become soft, and
Correct.
before I know it, he'll become a she.
Yeah.
So this kind of unfounded fear also prohibits a male to grow matured in terms of emotionally.
Wow. Wow. That. I mean, as honestly as a parent, I mean, I that's one of my biggest fear. Really. I mean, I try to cultivate that really emotionally as well. But I also feel like me as a parent, I need to prepare myself. Like, I need to make sure my cup is full as well to be able to handle their emotions as well. Otherwise, it's going to be like a clash somewhere. Because I mean, of course, everybody have their experiences in the past, and even for me, like, you know, I know, like, sometimes when I feel like tired or stressed up, I'm like, okay, wait, no, sure. So I'm very used to it. Like, somebody were to ask me like, how are you? Immediately, like, I'm okay, but you know, inside me, I'm like, you know, that's like auto answer. You know, that kind of thing. Only people I'm really comfortable with them, of course, I'll open up.
Fair enough.
Yeah, correct. So like, you know, even for my sons, like, I realized after parenting after being a parent, I realized, okay, I need my cup to be really full in order to handle their emotions as well.
Yes, however, not necessarily.
Okay,
Even
share,
if your
doctor.
cup is not full, you can tell that. You know what? Mommy is struggling with this at the moment.
Okay.
But mommy would like to hear what is happening in your life. So you want to talk? I'm here to listen.
Okay.
Maybe we can have a discussion.
Yeah.
So normalize discussion.
Yeah, okay.
And normalize interpersonal security, meaning I can talk anything under the sun and I know that I'm not going to be punished for whatever I've done.
Right.
Instead, we'll have a discussion with regards to it and see what would be a better route that you could have taken.
Yeah.
Rather than saying, hey, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Let the person learn and say, okay, what could have been a better route? Make every day a learning experience so that your child will learn indoors and not outdoors from the wrong company.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, as a parent, have that person as your talking partner.
Okay, yeah.
Let's talk. Just talk.
And that's what we want, right? We want to build that relationship. We want to maintain and cultivate it so that in the long run, even in their teenage years, they're able to come back to us and tell us, hey, mommy, I've got a problem here. You know, rather than to just hide in their room and try to figure it out themselves, you know. But I think, okay, so doctor, this is the next question that I have. Like, in terms of unaliving, what's lacking in our society? I know you mentioned some of them already, but like, from what I see here, based on our conversation, things like communication, connection, things, from what I see, these are the stuff that are currently needs to be worked on in many families, relationships, and stuff like that. So could you just cover on that as well? Like,
we need to build more resilience. The
okay.
adversity quotient in today's generation is very, very alarming.
Okay.
Okay. So when we're talking about unaliving, we should not mistaken that unaliving only happens to a certain group of age. No. Unaliving can range from children right up to geriatrics. The golden citizens.
The golden, yes.
And everybody's unaliving experiences are different.
Okay.
Like for instance, the geriatrics unaliving is totally different compared to a prime age unaliving. So how are these people different? They can start by not taking their medications properly, not going for their walks, not taking care of themselves. Their sugar is skyrocket, still going in for the next cake lapis, or eating chendol, not regardless of their health issues. These are all small geriatric unaliving attempt.
I see. Okay, so it's not just a method or whatever not. It can be all of this, like the fact that you don't care about yourself anymore. Okay.
And the reasons also differs. Like you asked me the factors. It differs. For geriatric, it could be lack of purpose. Everybody have left the nest. No one needs me. I'm redundant. I do not know what to do. That is why some people with the form of depression and anxiety, they can even get cardiac issues, heart issues, and they can go unalive right after their retirement. Because of the lack of purpose.
Like the sudden shift in their life, and then they just feel lost.
Yes.
Wow. So what should they do? Like in the case of because to me, geriatric unaliving sounds new to me actually, honestly. I mean, we know that, generally any age group can be affected by unaliving. But I mean, the fact that, there's this type where it's not necessarily a certain method, but it can be stuff like not taking care of yourself because you don't find a purpose in your life anymore. So like for people like that, like how can we help them? Especially for the older generation, you can't just go and tell them you need to see a counselor or you need to see a psychologist. It can be a little bit challenging, right, doctor?
So this is where they have to actually find an ikigai, their purpose.
Okay.
What is next in their life? The problem with Asians is we attach our sense of existence with our work. Hence the workaholics comes into play. So you want to know you're a successful person, they'll look into your job, what have you bought, materialistic. That is success for them.
Correct.
It's not about how many people you made happy, how many people are grateful of you. It's not about that. It's more about what is your bank balance. So when they have stopped their job or they have stopped working for the family, so to speak, they don't have any other purpose. That is why it's important to find your purpose. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, you are not born just to be who you are at the moment. You are born for a greater need. Find that need.
Okay, and how, for example, so if we know somebody like that, how can we help them find that need, or how can we guide them towards that? Especially, if they're feeling lost, especially, I just want to stay at home, I just want to watch my TV, for example, my friends all got their own things to do, especially at the age, no more colleagues and stuff like that, I would assume, right? So how can we, where should we guide them towards? Like, for example, do we guide them towards maybe an association for senior citizens that could help them with learning new activities, for instance? Would that be one of them?
Yeah, you gave me the answer there when you said that, my friends are all busy. Lack of connection is one of the factors for mental illness.
I see, yeah.
You need to have friends. Human beings are community creatures. If you don't have a community for yourself, your tendency to have mental illness will be very high. In fact, that is one of the factor, lack of connection. So yes, in your life, you need to always be in touch with spiritualism. So spiritualism, again, it's nothing to do with your religion. It's everything to do with your inner feelings, your emotion, your happiness, your mindset. So that is where you need to focus on. So yes, find an association, go meet people, go join any form of events or functions. Get to know people. The more people that you get to know, the better it is for you mentally and emotionally.
So you need to continuously connect. That is the key.
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, it's just, sometimes they can get stubborn. I don't know. I would imagine.
Why a person is stubborn? It's because they fear rejection. They fear failure.
Yeah.
So, understand, you see, we human beings, we are all walking with an iceberg of our own. What we are seeing with each other is just the tip of an iceberg.
Correct.
So you need to always look beneath and see what is under the surface, what exactly they're trying to say, what is the insecurities that the person is feeling. So then you get them secure, make them feel better, bring them with you, you go along with them, you talk, you introduce, make them feel a bit okay, I'm in my normal territory. Then you leave them.
Okay.
Don't just push them, go there, go here. They may go and be a wallpaper and come back.
True.
So there's no point also.
Yeah.
So that's the reason we have to always understand why is someone doing what they're doing.
Yeah. Okay.
For that, you need to be mindful.
All right. Thank you, doctor. And okay, so we covered family quite a bit, but I just want to talk about workplace bullying as well, a little bit about that. I think that's important as well, especially reading the recent news about the doctor who chose to unalive in Lahad Datu. Yeah, so I mean, this workplace bullying, it's not just in hospitals, anywhere it can happen. And these are working adults, right? So, I mean, would it be like different? Would it be stress or what are the factors in terms of workplace? Workplace bullying and unaliving. What's the link there, and how can somebody help someone who is at risk of that?
Like what I said, you see, in Asian culture, we kind of latch on the job that a person is doing to that person themselves, to the value of that person. So if a person, even now also, if a person jumps too many jobs, what we call them, rolling stone gather no moss. But it could be from A to D, when they jump, it could be an increase of pay, it could be an increase of experience. That person know why that person took such actions. But people around will start judging and discriminate. Even a recruiter will ask you, why did you jump so much? What happened? And then of course the mistrust, if you jump so much, you would not even be sitting in this company for long. You see, so there's always constant judging going on, and people find pride to stick on with that same company for X amount of years, regardless of how toxic it is. So how does this equation actually helps you in any ways? That coupled with how human beings, when they get power, there's a numerous experiments that shows that in human there's two. One is a bully, one is a victim.
Okay.
So if you get the power, you'll automatically become the bully in one way or another.
Eventually.
There's no such thing, oh no, I'm a very nice person, I don't bully.
Right, because the workplace is memang toxic.
Yeah. Because it is a competitive nature.
Is there a way, for example, if we identify like this workplace is memang toxic lah, okay, what can the person do? Like, is there a way to report it, or like or just kind of like you need to just help yourself? Like, is there any way to stop it? Like, say if already there are some traits.
Let me ask you this analogy.
Okay.
So there is a bread. The bread has been out for so long. What will happen to the bread? The bread will have fungus.
Oh, correct.
So then, what you're asking is, doctor, can I just scrape off the mold and put jam and eat it? No, you can't. Why?
Cannot.
Because the mold, fungus are running deep into the network of the entire bread.
Correct. Correct.
So if the bread is antifungal bread, there wouldn't be any form of mold.
Correct. Correct.
You know, if you can already see the mold, that means inside the work has been done quite extensively.
Very true. Very
So
true.
when you ask me, doctor, if in a company a person is very toxic, can I report? For all that, the person that you're reporting to is also toxic.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Or it's just at the surface, like you said. Like
Yeah, so
they
that's
may
what
go
I'm
to another
saying.
company.
If you don't vibrate, if you don't vibe with them, then vibe off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
it may not make sense because now times is hard, difficult to get a job, blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
Yeah, but no one said that you must work. You can always do business.
True. Very true.
If you want, it is money is just transactional. If you want to make money legally, there's many ways.
Very true.
And Malaysia is still very very prosperous in that sense to make money. If you ask 10 years ago for a job as an influencer, everybody will be laughing at you.
Very
like
true,
what
yeah.
influencer? But today look at influencers.
Yeah.
You say
Lots
so
of money.
what was unbelievable in few years ago is now totally believable.
Yeah.
So this mentality of employment mindset need to be removed if it doesn't work for you.
Okay, so it's about the mindset shift.
Yes. The start of the entire thing is the scarcity mindset.
Okay.
So when you are having a scarcity mindset, it's always not enough, you're not good enough, that is not enough, this is not enough. It's always about not enough, scarce. So when you are in that mindset, how are you ever going to grow?
Correct.
You can't. The only thing that will be growing is negativity.
So the best thing, in other words, to do is really to remove yourself.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you only can control yourself. You can't control others.
Can't control others. That's right. So that's the best way to manage your mental health. That's the best way to manage the situation.
Yeah.
In other words.
Unless it is your own company lah, then of course you have to do something about it. But if you're working for someone, then don't sweat.
Yeah. True. Don't stress about it, right?
Don't stress about it.
Yeah, because I see a lot. Like I downloaded this app called Glassdoor. Yeah, that says that there's a lot of
It's a
reviews.
recruitment thingy, right?
Yeah, and then you have like all these reviews. Apparently, it's unfiltered. Apparently, I don't know, but then that's what they say. Where you have all these people talking about like, is it toxic or not? They have all these questions and stuff like that. People can leave reviews about the company. Also, so that's why I'm just wondering, like, in terms of that, I mean, this is also having the wisdom to know, like, if you're joining the right company or not, right? I mean, people should probably...
But you know what is the funny part?
Yeah.
Most of them who are complaining are still attached to that company.
Possibly.
So,
Possibly.
so if you are that, then that question back about your own toxicity, isn't it?
Yeah, you might be the one vibing with the toxicity.
Correct.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
possible.
and you need to remove in a job mindset also. You need to remove that bosses are bad. Where employees hide away from bosses. Where when you be nice to boss, that means you are trying to be a brown noser. Remove that mindset. Take everyone as a human. Treat everybody as a human. And just you do you.
Okay.
That is the most authentic thing that you can do.
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of workplace, it's really, don't like it, remove yourself, you do you.
Yeah.
That should be the theme.
Yes.
Okay.
You see, those days in 1960s, 1950s, they said, working for people has stability.
Yeah.
Doing business is very risky. It's very scary. Anything can happen. When you work, end of the month you get salary. Yada.
Correct.
Today, fast forward 2024, can you still say working for people has stability? No, you can't. You can get retrenched just like that.
Correct.
Then what are you going to do?
Correct.
So, life in general is not stable. Changes is something which is constant. So, as a human, all of us are working, like, no offense to Nokia. I have so much of respect over Nokia. But we are working like 3310 instead of being an iPhone 16 Pro. We have the capacity of iPhone 60 Pro. I don't know anything much more higher grade. Supercomputers, yeah. We have a supercomputer, but we are working like a long-term desktop those days.
Yeah, because we were holding back to that. Right. And like you said, doctor, I caught something there, which is adapt to change. I think that is something that honestly even I struggle with sometimes. And like I think many people, I would assume that a lot of people might struggle with it as well, like adapting to change.
One of the factors why unaliving happens.
Yeah.
They don't adapt to changes.
And what is the root of that, doctor? Like, I'm just wondering, like, this adapting to change.
Too set in their ways. Too set in their ways. Refusing to change. Lack of emotional intelligence.
Okay.
Don't have internal motivation. Not able to have self-restriction, self-control. All these lah.
Okay, so
That's the reason.
So we need to work on ourselves, in other words.
Of course.
Yeah, to adapt to change.
It's like this lah. You cannot keep on giving money to the gym trainer and ask him to give you 6 packs when you're not lifting a single thing apart from the drumstick that you bought from KFC.
Correct.
So it doesn't. How do I say? It doesn't gel with you.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to go and do it yourself. That's when you get it.
Yeah.
Even psychology also, as a psychologist, when I get clients, I tell my clients the same thing. If you can work on yourself while I'm doing these therapies, you will get better in a very faster manner. However, if you refuse to work on yourself, do it like a tuition. When the tuition teacher come, only you study, or else the book entah ke mana. If you're like that, then won't happen lah.
Okay, so that's workplace. I think we pretty much covered workplace. Next, I want to jump to cyberbullying. Yeah, so this is another thing, of course, what happened in July, Asha.
Oh.
Yeah, and
that is a known case lah.
Yeah, correct. That's a known case, but I'm sure there's
a lot.
Correct, cyberbullying. But the big issue here is, I mean, and it looks like it's a current thing we really have to battle with. But how do we put a stop to it, doctor? Or like, how do we educate like the future generation who is going to be so, who's going to spend a lot of their time in the digital world?
Okay, again another analogy.
Yeah, tell us, doctor.
What would you tell a military personnel who's going to go for a war to keep himself alive? You know that he's going to a war.
Yeah.
Potentials of him going to be shot is there.
Correct.
And getting him unalived is very high. So yet, what do you tell them?
I can't think of anything, doctor. What do I tell military personnel?
Because that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
When you put yourself in the cyber, there's going to be a lot of perpetrators with mask on, especially, that may or may not be accountable for whatever they're going to do, and they're going to throw in loads and loads of grenades at you. So what are you going to do about it? You understand?
Yeah.
So this is something that you must understand and go in. If you don't understand, don't go in. That's why not everybody can be an army.
Correct.
Not everybody can be a police.
Yeah.
You need to have that strength, the internal strength, the self-discipline, the self-resilience in order for you to bounce back.
And education, right, doctor, in this sense, like army, police would be training for people on social media or in the cyber world would be to educate them.
Awareness. Education, yes. And also to build on, you see, the military trainings all boils down to building your self-discipline, self-resilience.
Correct.
So just like that, you need to build on these things. These are the expectation. Is it right? No, it isn't. Is this acceptable? No, it isn't. So is you fighting in a battle. It isn't. We are human. We're not kids. We're not supposed to fight. Sit down and talk, for God's sake. Isn't it? But instead, we are, putting it all out there in a war zone.
Yeah.
So just like that, it is not right, but how do you cope with it? So that's where your self-resilience, your self-confidence, who you are, you should know about yourself.
Yeah.
If people want to talk bad about you, shut it off and go to bed. That's it. You are not accountable, or you are not answerable for them.
Yeah. Okay. But how about the base of like building that? So like going back, right? So like you said, if you're gonna be fearful, don't venture. But how do we help to build this self confidence? How do we help to build this self resilience amount?
Teach them how to handle such issues. When these kind of things happen, is there anywhere that they can take a screenshot and put into the right authorities to take action?
Okay.
And also increase cyber inspectors, cyber security, in terms of moderators who are moderating whatever is being conversed and stuff like that,
Yeah.
so that they'll be able to determine and cut them snippet in the butt.
Okay. Sorry, doctor. I think we need to take
It's
a
okay.
break.